Welcome to Sugar Pills, a practical guide to self-care, where your host, writer, actor, and producer Candy Washington helps you live a more joyful life with a cheeky dash of pop culture news. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and join the conversation on Instagram at Candy Washington. Let's go!
There we go. Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Candy Washington, and I cannot wait to give you some of my unique perspective on all things pop culture, reality TV. And today we are going to be talking about the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. We missed a couple episodes because it was kind of flat, but now I think it's getting good. So as you come in, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, comment in the comment box your name, where you're listening from, what are your thoughts on Mary Cosby and everybody else. And don't forget to join the Candy Cane community. That's right, I just updated our emojis. And this weekend, we will do a members-only self-care session. So be sure to click that join button to join us. Oh, let's see the people coming in the room. Hi, everyone. Hey, Danny Wade. How are you, sweetheart? What is up? Hey, Takia Warren. She says, hello, Candy and the Candy Canes. Hey, sweetheart. How are you? Okay, so let's dive. Oh, you guys, don't forget, it's Tuesday. So that means it's a ladies' lounge night. 5:30 on the West Coast, 8:30 on the East Coast. It's me, Candace from the Candy Shop, and Cotty B. Tonight we're going to be on Candace's, the Candy Shop's channel, and we're going to be talking about girl code. Does it exist? What is it? Which rules to follow and which rules to break? So be sure to join us tonight, and it's also posted in my community tab for you guys to join us tonight. All right, you guys, let's get into it. So as you guys know, I stan Lisa Bartlow. I love her. I know everybody thinks she's the mean girl. I know everybody thinks she's calculated. I just think she's cool. I stand with her. And I want to get into the hypocrisy of Heather and Whitney. The hypocrisy of it all. You guys know I am not a Whitney fan. I'm tired of her in that played out pole. I'm tired of her and those sexual innuendos. Like, I'm tired of it. Whitney, I don't see you as a sexual being. Like, just stop with all of it. But let's get into the hypocrisy, right? So remember, last episode, Jen came to Lisa Bartlow's event. No, not event. It was like the photo shoot for her son's like Fresh Wolf, Young Wolf, something like that, like skincare line for men or whatever it is. So she came there. Lisa Bartlow brought up to Jen that I guess there was this thing going on how Jen's old, like one of her assistants, like recorded her going off on him about some dress he was supposed to design. It was horrible. You guys can Google it. You can search for it. It's out there, the audio and everything that happened. She was basically verbally abusing him, allegedly. Toxic work environment, allegedly, and it all get out there. Lisa Bartlow brings this up to Jen. Jen, of course, has no chill, and she loses her ish. But during all of that, Lisa is just like, oh, by the way, Jen, did you know that Whitney is sending that guy who just like released your audio tape, leaked it, and tried to destroy you and your reputation? She's sending him her like free products from her skincare line. He's posting on Instagram like, thank you, Whitney, for all this stuff, trying to be like an influencer for Whitney's skincare line. Obviously, Lisa is saying this to Jen to get a rise out of Jen and for Jen to go after Whitney. Duh. Lisa does not like Whitney. Whitney is just so insecure and so codependent. She just like really needs Lisa's validation. And when she doesn't get it, she lashes out. It's really weird and awkward and just kind of sad. Anyway, but Jen doesn't take the bait. She's like, well, in therapy, my therapist said I can't react to every negative thing. So Jen really doesn't care. She's like, whatever. Okay, so that happens, right? Then Jen tells Heather about this. And Heather's just like, oh, well, Lisa must be saying that to you in order to pit you against Whitney. That's so calculated, blah, 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 blah. Why would she do that? You know, she's so calculated. She's so calculated. She's so evil. Why would she say that? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so that's what they're saying, right? In that bucket. So their whole, and I mean Heather and Whitney, their whole issue is that Lisa was planting a bug in Jen's ear about the whole social media thing to get Jen to go against Whitney, right? That's their whole premise. Here's where the hypocrisy comes in. So Lisa then has the event with her sons and the whole thing. She invites Whitney, but she does not invite Jen. What does Whitney and Heather do? They do the same exact thing Lisa did. They plant a bug in Jen's ear, but this time to go after Lisa. Oh, Heather's like, well, did you know Lisa invited Whitney to the party, but she didn't invite you? Why would she do that? What's that about? You know, why would she do that to you? I thought you guys were such good friends. Why would she do that? So both Heather and Whitney now are planting that bug in Jen's ear of like, oh, you thought you had a friend, but you don't, to go against Lisa. So they both did the same exact thing. Such hypocrites. If it's wrong for Lisa to go to Jen and be like, oh, you thought Whitney was your friend, but she's doing something shady, then it's similarly dead wrong for Heather and Whitney to go to Jen and be like, oh, you thought you had a friend in Lisa, but she's doing something shady. And that's what I don't like about Heather and Whitney. They act like they're above it all. They always play the victim. But the truth is, if you really look at what they do, they lie, they manipulate, they're hypocritical, they stir the pot, they create drama where there is no drama. They are the biggest shit stirrers on that show, but then they always want to wipe their hands and point it at other people. I'm on to you guys. Get out of here. I was living, and I mean living. You guys know I'm not the biggest Mary fan, but I was living for when Mary gathered Whitney at that Italian dinner. She left no crumbs and she left no edges. Mary gathered her and called her out on everything, because Mary's issue with Whitney is that Whitney never answers the phone, never calls her, never does anything like that, which is so true. Because if you remember a couple episodes ago, even when Mary went to Whitney's house, even Whitney's children were kind of clowning Mary. I know Mary's a little wacky, but like they're kind of clowning her too. And I think it's true. And Mary can be wacky, but Mary was right in my opinion, because she was like, pipe down, Whitney. I'm trying to listen to Jen. I can understand what Jen is saying for myself. And then Whitney kept going, Mayor, but listen to me. But what she's saying is, and it's just like, stop it. You don't have to like Whitney-splain to people. Mary can listen to Jen herself and understand what Jen is saying. We don't need you, Whitney, to chime in all this time. She was just completely dead wrong. But let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Hi, Sandra. She goes, hey, everyone. Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Hey, how are you? What is up? So let's see what else is going on. Okay. Yes, Whitney was a liar, and I love that she gathered her. What do you guys think is going to happen with this whole Mary situation? So last episode, Lisa had Mary's ex-pastor, congregation person or whatever show up at the event, and basically it was just like, Mary's evil, Mary's crazy, watch out for her, it's a cult. Mary thinks she's God. She makes her congregation think she's God to Meredith, and Meredith was like shook. And then Whitney co-signed that story on last episode when she's again was talking about all that stuff. So I know like all the Mary stuff is going to come out, which I think is good, because I do think what she does is allegedly very cultish and weird and bizarre. And there have been deaths and stealing property and stealing money and stealing businesses and all of that stuff. So I cannot wait for that to come out. But let's talk about Jen Shah, because clearly that's going to be the biggest thing that happens this season. Jen was lying like a soldier. She got that call and she was like, can you turn my mic off? She had them turn her mic off. She took the phone call and then she came back and was like, Shah Sr., talking about her husbad, has internal bleeding and it's in the hospital and they might have to operate and I gotta go. Did she have that lie in like her back pocket? Like, who thinks of that? Like, oh, I need to get out of this jam. Oh, my husband has internal bleeding and he might need surgery. I gotta go. Like, did she just have that lie in her back pocket? But she was lying like a soldier, even to the point where if I didn't know that she was lying, I kind of felt bad. I was like, oh, is Coach Shaw going to be okay? Is Coach Shaw going to make it? Like, just insane. Hey, what's up, sweetheart? How are you? Hey, Just Simply. She says, hey, Candy and everyone. Hey, sweetheart. How are you doing? What's up? So, yeah, so she was just lying like a mug. But I will say about Jen, her son, Omar, is everything. He seems like such like a sweet, innocent, good person. Like I don't know. Like I think her son is just like a good seed. He's a good egg. He just seems really sweet, and he's like, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Like he seems really nice, and just like he seems like a really good person. But do you guys peep the scene that Jen did with Stuart about, oh, like I work so hard for families and I've sacrificed being with my own family to make sure my employees are good and blah, 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 blah. And then it turns out that she's been allegedly scamming elderly people and scamming families and all of this stuff. I think all of that, I think it's going to be like Erica Jane. Everything she said, all of the footage, it's going to come back to bite her in her butt. Jen. But next episode, I think we'll see when she actually gets arrested and everything goes down and all of that stuff. I thought it was shady of Mary not to invite Jenny. That didn't really make sense to me. Like, I don't know why Mary was holding a grudge against Jenny when Jenny really didn't do anything to Mary other than tell her to be quiet because she was going off the deep end. I thought that was bizarre. But as much as I like Jenny, I didn't really miss her in the episode. Like, sure, she was there and she was like whipping up some yogurt with her family, but that was pretty much it. And I didn't really miss anything from her. Lisa Bartlow, I just love. She can do no wrong. Meredith is there with her relationship with her husband. Oh, and I did like Heather Gay's situation with her niece. So I'm happy that they showed that, how the niece was like leaving the Mormon religion and leaving the church or whatever, and they're kind of making fun of it, and not making fun of church. I don't mean to like make fun of anybody's religion, but just like that experience. And I actually thought that was cool. I thought it was a good way to show people that there is a other way. There is, there's no condemnation or whatever. I don't know. I don't want to get in trouble talking about other people's religions, but I will just say it was refreshing to see that journey of what her niece is coming out of the religion and finding her own and all of that stuff. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So let's see what you guys are saying. Hey, Just Simply. Jen proved with the lie that she is a professional scammer. Girl, same. Jen, like who? This is another thing. I don't play with that. I don't play on people being sick, and I don't play on breakups. Like I don't like relationships, right? Like I don't play that I'm sick or somebody I love is sick or anybody is sick, because I don't know, I kind of feel you're putting that energy out there, and I don't play with relationships. Like let's fake a divorce or infidelity for a storyline, because I feel like you're putting that energy out there. But Jen is a professional scammer. She came in there with her box braids and was just like, oh, Shaw Sr. has internal bleeding and he's in the hospital. Mary should have said, if Mary was there, she should have been like, oh, does he smell like hospital? Does he smell like hospital? Hey, Misty. She says, hello, Candy and the Candy Canes. Hey, sweetheart. How are you? So let's see. Yeah, that was like the highlights of it. Like, again, like I said, the last couple of episodes, we didn't even do recaps because it was kind of flat. But I think it's about to get popping, right? Like I think it's about to get popping. I think things are going to pop off. So I'll do a quick overview of all the ladies and what I think of them. And then if you have any questions or comments, put it in the comment box below. But then also don't forget to join us on the Ladies Lounge tonight on the Candy Shop, 5:30 West Coast, 8:30 East Coast. Okay. Miss T, Jen went dark fast. No white lies for her. I know she went real dark, but I don't play that. I don't play with health, and I don't play with relationships. Yes, the season has finally started. Exactly. We'll be doing more recaps now because before I was like, there's going to be nothing to talk about, you know? I feel like this episode is popping us off and they'll have a lot more. But let me go through each woman, say what I think. You guys can chime in and then we'll wrap this recap up and then I'll see you guys tonight for Ladies Lounge. All right, let me start with Mary. Mother Mary. And I mean this with respect. I think Mary is bat cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs crazy. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way about mental health or mental illness. I do think she has, again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not trying to diagnose anybody. But she has said herself multiple times on camera that she talks to herself, that she kind of has like a tick. Like, these aren't things I'm making up. These are things that she has said and things that she has done. I do think that there is a tick. I think there's something off there. With that being said, that's not my issue with Mary. My issue with Mary is that I know it's alleged, so I'm going to say allegedly, but in my opinion, I do believe that she's a scammer as well. I do think that she's scamming her church members. I think she scammed her family out of her grandmother's businesses. I think saying that her grandmother willed her grandfather to marry her, I think that was a complete lie. She lied about the will. There is no will. That never existed. She's in a fake marriage with her husband, Robert Sr. That clearly was just, he was a scammer and greedy. She was a scammer and greedy. They put together a scam so the both of them could still have the churches and the businesses and all the money that the grandmother had done. She said herself that they never slept in the same room and that they clearly are not she was saying how he was gone for like 6 months to a year during the pandemic and she loved it and she didn't even want him to come back. So clearly that's not a real marriage. And I don't mean to talk bad about marriages, but like, hello, this is what she said. So that's my issue with Mary. Like, I'm sorry, Mary, but you're not God. Point blank, period. And the fact that you preach that you're God, the fact that anybody follows you and thinks that you are God, to me is really scary. It's very Jim Jones. It's very cultish. And I don't think you actually believe that. Well, maybe you are that delusional and you do, but I think it's only a means to get money and to get people to give you stuff. Like, everything came out about you berating your congregation because you only got 10 birthday cards, but yet you live in a house and you're a hoarder, which is what it looks like, with like wall-to-wall designer everything, but yet you're berating your congregation, and your congregation, no shade to them, they look just like ordinary people, and you're berating them for their rent money. Like, that is what is sickening to me about Mary. That is what I don't like about Mary. Do I like the fact that Mary gathered Whitney? Yes, I do, because I don't rock with Whitney. Let's talk about Whitney. Whitney, to me, is that girl that smiles in your face and then behind your back talks about you like a dog and then manipulates and contrives against you behind your back. She plays the victim all the time. She's jealous of Lisa Bartlow because she wants to be Lisa Bartlow and she wants Lisa Bartlow to like her. And I just think it's really weird. I think that her marriage, again, I don't want to speak against marriages, but just commenting on what I see, I think her marriage is headed into a bad place. If you're talking about how like the sex is waning, they didn't seem that interested in each other. She's always going off the deep end. He always looks kind of embarrassed. Like, I don't know. I would kind of get that together. Maybe go to some couples therapy, maybe spice it up. I don't know. But all signs are pointing to like that flame is going out. Who knows? Whitney, I'm also tired of you talking about sex. I don't want to see another stripper pole. I don't want to see you gyrate. I don't want to see you do a 6th grade dance routine that you think is still cool from 1999. I don't want to see it. Do something else. That's all I got to say about Whitney. Not feeling her. Heather, I know this is an unpopular opinion. I know she's a fan favorite, but I got to keep it real. I go back and forth with Heather. Some episodes I like her, sometimes I don't. The majority of times I don't like Heather, it's when she's in cahoots with Whitney. Because if you really watch, Whitney and Heather are the biggest shit stirrers. They talk about everybody, they manipulate, they plant bugs, but then they act like they're pointing out everybody else's flaws. Those are the people, Giselle, you always have to watch out for. The people who are always coming to you with, oh, well, why did that person say that? Why did that person do that? This person did this, that this person did that. That's actually the person you got to watch out for. That's really the bad guy. And that's what Heather and Whitney do. Well, why did Lisa invite Whitney but not you? What's the motive? Why did she do that? Oh, I can't believe she brought up the fact about Whitney. She's trying to da-da-da. Like the hypocrisy of it. So Heather, I go back and forth. I also lost respect for Heather when she equated liking Black men to sinning and things that are immoral or ungodly. She equated liking Black men to smoking and drugs and alcohol. I'm sorry, but Black men are human beings. They're not objects. They're not something that should be fetishized. They're not a trend. They're not a checkbox. They're not something that you do because you want to like be dirty for a little bit. They're human beings. So I lost a lot of respect for Heather when she said that. I mean, I get because Mormons historically have been a very, very racist and segregation within, not even segregation, but they didn't even allow Black people to become Mormon, I think, until like 10 years ago or something ridiculous like that. So I understand where she's coming from, but I think she needed to say it differently if that's not, but if that's not what she actually thought, but that is what she thinks. She equates liking Black men to doing something immoral, to sinning, to being bad. She's equating liking Black men to wanting to drink or to smoke or to curse or to do whatever. And that to me, I didn't like. So I stopped rocking with Heather after that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm tired of her talking about how she left the Mormons and she wants to be wild. Shut up. Don't show me, tell me. Do something. All you do is talk about it every single episode. Got it. You left the Mormon church. You're divorced. Got it. Next, show me something. Do something. Okay, so that is Heather. Lisa, my favorite. Okay, so I love her tagline. You don't have to like me. I love myself enough for the both of us. Agreed. Yeah, I love Lisa. I think she's really cool. Do I think she's calculated? Hell yes. Do I think she manipulates? Hell yes. Do I think she's the queen bee, HBIC? Hell yes, I do. I love Lisa. I love her family. I think her boys are great. I love her like, hi, that's amazing. Like all of that. I love it. I feel bad that her friend Angie backstabbed her. Again, I think Angie, who's now pretending to be Whitney's cousin, I think Angie, again, one of those friends who smiles in your face, but the moment they have an opportunity, they want to knock you down because secretly they always thought that you were better than them. And that's why I think Angie and Whitney get along so well, because they both are those like insecure women who like act like they're your friends, but then they secretly want to like knock you down because they think that you're better than them and they want to bring you down a peg or two. Like what Angie did to Lisa, I thought was so dirty and so wrong and such a betrayal. And I don't think that Lisa, maybe this is another unpopular opinion, I don't know, but I don't think Lisa tried to sabotage Angie's, what do you call it? Catering at the party. I don't think she did that. That to me just seemed really petty and really, I don't know, but who knows? But I love Lisa. I like her. Do I think she's conniving and calculated? Totally. But I love it coming from her. To me, she is the most likable villain. Love Lisa. Meredith this season has just been phoning it in. And what is Meredith's storyline? Like, what is going on with Meredith? She had the whole Brooks versus Jen thing that to me was kind of played out, went too long, but that has kind of been wrapped up. I think her and Seth, I think that they're still in an open relationship, but they just are pretending for the cameras because they want to stay on the show. I think him doing 50% in Utah or Ohio or Mississippi, wherever he is, I think he dips in and does it, and he does whatever he wants. And then I think Meredith on the slide does whatever she wants. She just kind of keeps it private. But do I think that they have really reunited as this committed couple? Absolutely not. Do I think they're playing it up for the cameras? 100%. So I need more from Meredith. Like she's kind of just like every episode, like, okay, that's fine. But like I need more from her. Jenny, I like. Did you guys see the stuff that came out? Allegedly, her whole storyline about the miscarriages was fake and a lie. I'm not going to say that because A, it came from some girl on TikTok and she's like, oh, she's my aunt or something. I need that verified. And B, I'm never going to say that a woman talking about her body and her losses and her children and her babies and all that stuff is a lie unless it is verified proof. So I'm not even going to speak that. But I do like Jenny. I think her husband Dewey does need to go to therapy and work out his trauma from what happened to their stillborn baby, unfortunately. I don't want to talk about, let me not even say this. Jenny kids are cute. I want to see more from Jenny because I think she's a spitfire. I think she's a firecracker. I think last episode we saw more of her personality when she was going after Mary. So I do want to see more from Jenny. I think she's a firecracker. She's a spitfire. I'm excited for her. Who else is there? We did Mary. We did Lisa. We did Meredith. Oh, Jen. Jen Shaw. Before I get into Jen Shaw, let me see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Okay, let's see. Hey, Miss T. Mary definitely needs some help. That is the understatement of the year. She really does. She really does. Mary treats others horrible, which is so crazy as a minister. Mary treats people like they are her staff, but she treats her staff poorly. Like Mary treats everyone like they are put on this planet to be at her beck and call and at her will. Like that's how Mary treats people. Like you are all here to be in service of her. Wacky and crazy. Mary says she blessed the food. No prayer needed. No prayer needed. She did it in her head. I love it. I love it. Whitney needs to mind her business. Why jump in an argument? Whitney does need to mind her business. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Whitney is messy AF. Like, she needs to really just relax. I don't know who she thinks she is. Heather is really going in on the church. Yep, she was. Hey, eLove173. Nah, Mary is horrible. Mary is horrible. Mary is she is. Hey, Miss T, Heather needs to stop pushing her daughter to be bad. I agree. It's bizarre and weird. It's like, the thing with Heather is like, she like tries to live vicariously to her daughter. It's like, I want you to go and do this and do that. But it's also like, just let your daughter be her. Don't make your daughter do the things you wish you did. Let your daughter make the decisions that your daughter wants to make for herself. It's a little weird. It's a little bizarre. Lisa did push the Mary storyline. She didn't just push it. She orchestrated it. She probably wrote the script. She had everything going. She was just like, you come, go, bam, boom. I wonder why. Like, I wonder what the deal is with between Lisa and Mary. Like, why would she set Mary up like that? But again, she did initially invite Whitney. So maybe she meant for Whitney to meet him instead of Meredith, and it would have went down a little differently. Lisa also used the party invites to her advantage. Oh, she totally does. That's the thing. She is so calculated. It's insane, but I love her. I love her for it. Meredith is buying a new house. That's cool. Oh, yeah, because a lot of them rent their homes, too. Meredith will be in the mix soon because of the Mary stuff. Oh, that's true. Because of the Mary stuff and also the stuff, remember when didn't Heather and Jen accuse Meredith of diming Jen out to the feds? That's going to be a big storyline too, like who dimed Jen out. But I don't think anybody on the cast had to dime her out. Like I think the feds were kind of already on the situation. I don't think anybody had to, dime her out. But who knows? Maybe one of them did. But the only people I could see diming Jen out would have been Meredith. You know what I mean? Like I saw some headlines like, oh, did Mary do it because she wasn't there? No, Mary just didn't want to deal with what's her face, Whitney. So she was like, let me get a private jet. I don't think Jenny's husband really wants a sister wife. No, he doesn't. He's just trying to, it's either a storyline for them. I'm not saying her miscarriages are a storyline. I'm never going to say that about a woman, but maybe the whole sister wife thing and then and another child thing, that part might be a storyline. And then if it's not, I think he's doing whatever he needs to do to cope with the loss of the kids. Hey, Darren Hood. Hey, sweetheart. Lisa wasn't moving off party bus. No, she really wasn't. She was like, I'm going to throw up. I'm just going to stay here. I don't want to see what's going on. And then Heather went out there trying to do the most, like as always. So yes, that's the recap for all the girls. Now let me talk about Jen, and then we'll wrap this up. And then don't forget to join us tonight at the Ladies Lounge. Okay, so Jen Shaw. I need to do this in buckets. Jen Shaw, the alleged scammer, can't stand don't want any part of her. You're scamming people. That's never cool. So that's one bucket. Jin Shah, the reality star on the show, love. She understands the assignment. However, I need her to take it down a couple of notches because at this point, it's really coming across as performative. Like if you pop off like that every single time at any little thing, it seems to me performative. Like she came on the show wanting to be the villain, wanting to be the star, but it's like, calm down. It's not that deep. It's not that serious. Do I think her and Coach Shaw are in a good place? No. He said he was going to file for divorce. And she's now trying to mend relationships with her own children. So, and then now that she's has all these charges against her, who knows? Do I think Coach Shaw knew? Allegedly, in my opinion, yeah, of course he knew. I think everybody in her life kind of knew that what she was doing was shady. Maybe everybody didn't know the extent, but I think people pretty much knew that it wasn't on the up and up. Will he be implicated? Will he be indicted? I don't know. I don't know if he was an active participant. I don't know if knowing is enough. Like if I just know someone is doing something shady, I don't know if that implements me or not, unless I do the shady stuff with them. I don't know. But I feel bad for her children because her children seemed really sweet. But Jen needs to stop doing the most and just kind of relax. But I do like her. She has the best shade on the show. She's kind of one of the only people who can shade other than Mary. But yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So yeah, that's it. That was the recap. Again, like Miss T and everybody else said, the season now is finally starting. I think now after that, we'll do more recaps. We'll get into it. But thank you so much for joining me, my beautiful candy canes. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, share with a friend, because a kiki is always better with community. And leave a comment below. I love you guys. Be well. And until next time, take care of yourself and each other. And join our Candy Cane community. We'll be having some really fun things coming up. And I just designed some really cool new emojis. All right, you guys. Love ya. See ya. Bye.